Before we go any further, I just want to come back to the Midi cable. This is a standard Midi cable. It's a 5-pin Midi cable, available from any music store, I assume. This one here is around about 3 foot or 1 metre. One end goes into the out and the other end goes into the in. It's pretty basic, one Midi cable. Now before we go any further, I just want to come back to the TD30 and just go over some Midi settings that you need to have set up in order to get this set up and functioning correctly. The way I have the TD30 set up is for a live application only, and I'll get into a studio setup later. But for live application, we need to set up the Midi itself inside this. So what we need to do is to go back to Setup, come across to F5, press that, come across to Midi. We come across to Midi here. We need to come into Global, and once we're in here, we need to make sure the Midi in is off. The US Midi is off, the local control is on, and device ID is 17. You shouldn't have to change device ID, and I think local control is already preset as drum. But if you have these set up like this, you're good to go. Now, another thing we need to do is to make sure that the TX channel is set to MIDI channel 11. Now, if you remember from a previous video, we just did the kick and snare, and we set that to MIDI channel 11. Now, the rest of the kit needs to be set to 11. If we don't do this, you're going to hear some feedback or MIDI looping. So we just now go through and do the rest of the kit as previous. 11, also the rims, the whole lot, cymbals, all the way through.